Alright, the yellow light is live, and that's right, what's going on, guys? Another episode for In the Hot Seat. Of course, I got my guest with me at this time. Other surprises, of course, looking to happen as always. Very typical of this show, but that's besides the point. And I got my guest with me at this time. Of course, we got Austin. What's going on, man?
What up, bro? How you doing? How you doing?
Alright, doing good. It's a new day, so let's do this. And we got a first-time guest here. If we can
Oh,
try
sorry.
and see him. It's supposed to be
Sorry,
Connor.
I got distracted there. Sorry, my mistake.
So yeah, I'll have you do your usual intro and everything since I know you do it best.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Connor, a.k.a. Oh, that wasn't my butt after all. Kayfabe.
Right, glad it wasn't, because that would have been kind of disturbing. But anyway, we'll go ahead right into the show. We got, of course, a couple of things to talk about before Payback, and we'll start things off too, of course, with Chyna passing away, and I'll start things off here, which is still pretty crazy to deal with, not only dealing with Chyna's death, but Prince, of course, the singer, who also passed away within the same day, and all this has been just really crazy. It kind of sucks, and really wish it didn't happen that way, but at least WWE was able to pay tribute to her, which is awesome. I was hoping they would do that, and they did do that last night with an amazing tribute to Chyna, which she definitely deserves. So she did a lot for the business and everything, so it's good to see her in that light and not what was going on and everything, and to really allow us to really beat us up for it, and then we can move on from that. So it sucks that it had to happen that way, so I won't miss Chyna, and rest in peace. And Austin, your thoughts on Chyna passing away?
Well, obviously it's very sad for everyone, and I don't. The one thing I thought about was Triple H, and would he put her in the Hall of Fame after all the bullshit? And it sucks, even though I do think she will go in the Hall of Fame. It just sucks she had to pass away for them to probably do it. But obviously she revolutionized the business, especially for women's wrestling, more than almost anyone else. What I heard, she was an amazing woman, and it just sucks. Holy fuck!
Steven, what's up?
What's up, guys?
Let's go.
Live, just in case you don't know.
Yeah.
And you're echoing.
Yeah, someone's like.
Well, we fix that right now, then.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead, Austin.
All right, yeah, of course it's sad. He should go in the Hall of Fame, but it just sucks. And Prince passing not even 24 hours later. It's been a shitty week, but at least Triple H will suck it all up and probably put her in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Hopefully it will happen. Kind of your thoughts on Chyna passing away?
Sorry, I had mic issues there for a second. I mean,
Yeah.
it's always tragic when someone in the wrestling world passes away. I think that's kind of regardless. No one wishes this upon anybody in real life or in the wrestling world. So it's always sad to hear this. And I've been saying this the whole time. There's that phrase that the internet jokes about called, when it's like, oh, right in the childhood, but really did feel that way. It felt like, for those who grew up with her or seeing her in the WWF at the time, I've said numerous occasions, it felt like I got punched in the stomach. It's never a pleasant, fun thing. It's never pleasant. It's never, it's someone passing away, especially someone who was so monumental, so influential in the business. And in relation to, Raw, it's always, I thought it was very well done. They showed the video package and the graphic at the beginning, but I felt like it was a little off, and I don't know if that was because of obviously all the controversy surrounding in regards to, Triple H and Stephanie's relationship and Chyna's relationship with WWE and all that. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's an awkward feeling, but at the same time, of course, it's heartbreaking and tragic.
Yeah. All right, Steven, your thoughts on Chyna passing away?
Am I still echoing, by the way?
No,
You're good.
it's gone.
All right, awesome. Mazel tov, great. I think again, I think all of us said it. It sucked to hear that she passed away, especially the way we found out about it. Connor, you already know the whole thing that happened during the live show that we did. Just happy that you just didn't prepare for it, And again, I think overall, you look back on her life, especially in the wrestling business, she was a legend, a pioneer, legend, whatever you want to call it. literally the first woman to be the Intercontinental Champion, the first woman to be part of the Royal Rumble. She was, when you think about it, one of the big key players in the Attitude Era, everyone's favorite era, right? But yeah, it just sucks. As far as the video package, as far as the video package, I'm happy that they actually did one. I'm actually happy. End of the day, because let's put it like this, right? If they didn't do anything, people would complain about it. If they did something about it, people would still complain about it.
Yeah, damned if they do, damned if they don't. I've been saying that this whole time.
Sad truth, though.
So yeah.
Anyway, go ahead and move on. I mean, with the next topic too, especially from NXT, and first time in quite a while. It's very rare that this happens, especially on a house show, with Samoa Joe actually winning the NXT World Title there. So that's really interesting. And also another thing that's going into this, that possibly Finn Balor might actually be going to the main roster. So a lot's really playing into this, and it's really cool. It's actually going to be shown tomorrow night on NXT, which is awesome. So I know, Austin, you were there, so feel free to give your thoughts on the whole experience and being there live. What was it like?
This show was fucking amazing. It was my first NXT show, my little sister's first WWE show. The show is amazing from start to finish. I can't even describe how loud this place was when the 3 count hit when Joe won. It was insane. It was the biggest curveball in NXT history. I could not believe it. I'm glad they're putting it on the network so you can see how amazing of a match this was.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's great that Joe's champion, and I think it's good that they did it on a house show because more people are gonna want to go to house shows if there's more unpredictability to it. So, and I think they wanted Finn to have the longest NXT title reign too, so we pushed it back a couple weeks. But I thought it was amazing, and it was brilliant. I'm glad I was there live.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how long Finn Balor had the championship for that long. So for Samoa Joe to do that and get the NXT title, it's going to be cool to see what's going to be coming out of this and who he's going to be feuding with the title. So that's going to be really awesome. Hopefully Finn Balor will actually be able to show up. Maybe the Sunday at Payback, that can possibly happen, or any given time. Maybe even a little afterwards too. So we'll see where that goes. I really like it. So Steven, your thoughts on Samoa Joe?
Overall, him winning, I thought it was great seeing him win. Granted, I think I can speak for me and Connor. It would have been even more awesome if he would have won in Dallas when that match as a whole. But I think overall, I like the concept of them having him win in a house show. It's random. You don't see it coming, and it pretty much shows that, hey, anything can fucking happen at a house show. Anything can happen.
Yeah. And Connor, your thoughts?
So, a couple of fun facts for you guys, because I'm the type that randomly memorizes random incoherent wrestling facts just because I do. If I'm not mistaken, Finn Balor was champion for, I think it was either 242 or 282, I can't remember, but he is the longest reigning NXT champion in history.
Yeah.
He beat Neville, so it's something around that ballpark. Fun fact that Samoa Joe won the NXT Championship in Lowell, Massachusetts, which is also the exact same town that he won the TNA World Heavyweight Championship as well, too. I was there for that one. I wasn't there for the NXT one. But as far as Finn Balor going up to the main roster, I mean, that's kind of the big Joe winning it is huge, and to both Steven and Austin's point is, anything could happen at a house show. Which is a great, cool concept, and they are going to be airing that match, from what I understand, tomorrow night on the network, which I think is a genius move, to be completely honest with you. But as far as Finn going up to the main roster, there actually has been ramblings and rumors that apparently there is talk. Again, this is just rumors at this point, that Finn Balor is expected to have a return program with Samoa Joe, which would see a rematch at their next TakeOver special, which I believe is in June from Full Sail University. So not saying that Finn Balor wouldn't show up on the main roster. I mean, hell, we saw Kevin Owens do double duty as NXT champion for quite a while, both on the main roster and NXT at the same time for pretty much the summer. So wouldn't be surprised if they pulled something similar to this with Finn Balor, but man, go NXT.
Wouldn't it be something if Balor showed up at Payback, joined with AJ, Gallows, and Anderson, and AJ won the title?
I think
There goes the Balor Club.
I don't think they're gonna do that. I think
No,
honestly,
Yeah.
oh, it would be, but I think long story short, AJ is gonna refuse Gallows and Anderson, and then they're gonna take them out, and Finn's gonna join them if they're gonna do that. So
I could see that happen.
Yep. So because you can't have,
Mm.
in my opinion, you can't have Finn and AJ in the same group at the same time. They're too big of two single stars.
Right. Yeah, that makes it like really exciting, especially for the house show I'll be going to, which is May 14th. So hopefully I'll get to see something exciting like that. But one can only hope, and it's still going to be awesome regardless. So there's going to be that. So we'll change things, especially with the next thing here. And it's pretty crazy where things are going, and that's about TNA. Haven't really talked about TNA quite a while. So things, with them haven't been doing so well now that they're being able to move in the warehouse and everything. And it's crazy where things are going. Hopefully things will be able to succeed for them. And I'd like to change a little bit too. They've been working on too with their shows and everything. So hopefully that will stay consistent. And I like that. So yeah, you guys' thoughts overall on TNA as of right now, the state of TNA, and we'll go with Steven. Your thoughts?
That's my thoughts. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Turning your back. All right, go ahead.
I think we've all been saying this for a while now. If this company has any hope of surviving or succeeding, it's going to be under new ownership.
Mhm.
They need to, whoever's going to take over this company, I hope there's someone different, because I'm sorry, you can't have success at this point or any type of change for a different movement, what have you, with Dixie Carter. You just can't.
Mhm.
That's just the bottom line. I don't care if anyone wants to put her on this pedestal. I don't care if any reporter wants to put her on this pedestal like she's the greatest shit ever when she's not. You just can't have success with this woman running the promotion at this point,
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've always felt like this way because with TNA, I feel like they actually need like a proper manager to actually run the show. I think that would be really awesome to have that role, since they never really had that besides Dixie Carter and a couple other people, but that never really lasted long. So maybe having that would be a little bit changed. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, Austin, your thoughts on this whole TNA thing that's going on?
TNA is going down the shitter, and I know we've been saying forever, TNA's done, TNA's done, I'll give them a few more weeks. I think they're actually done this time. I really think that they're so 6 feet under. Dixie Carter's not going to give her job to anyone else. She's an idiot, to be totally honest. And I think TNA is a sinking ship. And I think it's finally going to hit that iceberg. And it's just going to crash. Everyone's going to die. And that's that. It's too bad because TNA was once an amazing promotion. But that was years ago. That was years ago. So
Yeah.
it's just it sucks, but it's gonna be good to see WWE hopefully one day own all their shit.
I mean,
Mhm.
Could they though?
Oh yeah, they have the money to do
Possible,
that shit.
yeah.
They did that.
Yeah.
They did it. They even did it with ROH and the Punk DVD. So they.
I mean, this. Come on, that's probably the Punk DVD, but I mean,
Mhm.
is TNA though? Is it buyable now? I mean, I guess for the library, pretty much, Van. Just have the video library on the network.
Yeah, all those classic matches and everything.
Yeah.
There's not all. There's some. There's some out there. We're just saying,
Mhm.
I think I don't know. I really don't give a shit anymore. TNA tries so hard to do these crazy matches on their weekly shows, and no one gives a fuck. No, we don't care because your product is subpar.
Also, is that the Intercontinental
That's
title
what
behind?
it is.
Yeah, right there.
Sweet belt. Anyway, also,
Those are my thoughts.
there's still some things that are good about TNA. There's still some. There's some that, at least you should just check out. Just watch, I guess, right? Like,
Exactly.
EC Bennett. That's one. And number two, I guess it would be Eddie Edwards' single run right now, currently in TNA. Other than that, after that, just... But that's just around the point.
Wow.
All right, Connor, your thoughts?
I did say there's some. There's some. Connor, your mic's muted, by the way.
I was waiting for you to finish because I wasn't sure when you were finished.
Sorry.
So I've been
Go ahead,
watching.
man.
I've watched every episode of TNA since they've come back on Pop TV. Every single one. And for those of you who don't know, I'm the TNA reporter, and Steven hates that word, for OneWrestling.com. So I've
Yeah.
been doing reviews on it for not every single week, but for as almost every single week since they've been on Pop. Here's my honest to God take on the situation. TNA has put in a better in-ring product than WWE on a consistent weekly basis. I'm not talking storyline angles, I'm not talking creative writing, I'm talking just in-ring product. I feel like they've put on a better match-to-match quality weekly television show. That being said, their business practices need to change. And I'm not trying to make fun of TNA. It's very easy to do that. I've done it. Everyone's probably done it at some point, and it's easy to do. It's easy to do so, and it's
Yeah,
understandable to do so.
TNA's
Yeah.
that nerd in school who just everyone's picked on.
But here's the facts, folks, and let's just take a look at the Stone Cold facts. What, Colbert? Well, let's take a look at the Stone Cold facts. They've jumped 2 networks in under 2 years. They've stopped doing they've stopped doing house shows. They've moved their corporate headquarters for whatever reason. They've moved it from a different location in Nashville, Tennessee, to their warehouse where they run their merchandise out of. They've lost a multitude of not only major superstars, which is one thing, but to lose a lot of the veterans that have been around in the company for over a decade. There are signs that you can visibly see that the company is, and I'm going to be very optimal here, they're struggling. They're struggling in some way, shape, or form. And again, I'm being kind and generous here. That being said, I completely 100% agree with Steven. They have a good talent roster. Even the guys that aren't that well known, they can put on some good stuff in the ring. But the problem is, I feel like there's a very hardcore lack of direction in terms of where they want to go with certain things. From not only just from a creative standpoint, but just as far as a company standpoint as well too. TNA, I feel like, has always had this really big problem with establishing their identity, their brand, what they are and what they are about. I thought that if they went as an alternative to WWE and not a competitor, they would be doing so well.
Why
And
Lucha
to-
Underground doing so well?
And to Austin's point, too, TNA was amazing at one point. Had great rivalries, great matches, and yeah, you used a lot of ex-WWE guys, but sure, who cares? You put on good stuff. So it just stinks to see that a company that was so high up at one point is struggling. But at this point in time, the only thing that could really save them is either a major amount of cash flow because Panda Energy isn't supporting them at this point, or they need a new investor or a new leader whatsoever. Apparently, there's investors that are looking to talk to doing it, but the big thing that's holding them up is Dixie Carter staying in main control. So time will tell. But I think very, very soon we're going to see something major happen as far as TNA goes. Either we're going to see a new owner, or maybe not much of TNA anymore afterwards. And I hate to say that.
Dixie.
Yeah. It's crazy how it's going.
Back at it again with the shitty managing.
Damn.
Like, damn Dixie. But yeah, hopefully we'll get that new management in going for them. Hopefully someone will want to buy them, but only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see where this goes for TNA. So that just shows anything can happen, and we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, before we get into the actual predictions, I wanted to touch a little bit more bases on the Bullet Club, which actually were able to debut. Of course, we talked a little bit about it. But this whole thing, I like where this is going. It's really cool. I've seen a little bit of them before they came into WWE, so with that little bit and then seeing them where they're at now, it's actually really interesting, especially with seeing who is really going to be the leader. It's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like it may be Finn Balor and have the Bullet Club. So a lot's going into this, and I actually really making it really exciting, and I hope I get to see them soon. That would be really cool to see in person. So with that being said, thoughts on the Bullet Club. Where do you think things are going to go? What's going to be happening for Sunday? Austin, your thoughts on the Bullet Club.
Sunday, well, obviously AJ is not winning the title, which, you know, the IWC is going to shit themselves and cry all night because of it. But being realistic, he's not winning the fucking belt. This is just going to build Roman up to be more hated and more hated and more hated.
Believe that. You can believe that. Okay.
No. Yeah, Roman is, and
Hey,
I don't even know. The
okay.
Balor Club is so perfect right now because the
Mhm.
shirts are already made. The shirts are already made.
Yeah, they are.
AJ can't be the leader because he's probably going to be like the biggest face in the company. He kind of already is at this point because Roman sucks. So,
Mhm.
uh,
What if Roman were to be the leader of the Balor
See,
Club?
I thought about that too. That's
The
the
more
interesting.
I've heard that, and the more I think about it, I don't think they're going to do that. I'm not saying they shouldn't do that, but realistically, do we think WWE, who just spent so much time, effort, and money on making Roman Reigns win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship from Triple H at WrestleMania, do we honestly think that in less than 30 days from that, they'll turn him heel? I doubt that. I'm not saying it shouldn't be done
Yeah.
and that that's not a cool idea, but from just a business side of things, I don't think they're going to do that.
well,
That's
having
just me.
Roman win the way he did is a bad business idea, anyways, considering how shitty it's been going.
Yeah, but you got to at least, and
Sure.
Steven said this, you got to at least tip their hats off to them for sticking to their guns to it.
Oh yeah, I do, but I mean, you got to.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
This is what I'm thinking. Before I say this, Steven, I'd like to say this. WWE needs to start giving a shit about what their fans want, because who do you make your fucking product for? The fans who watch. If the fans aren't satisfied and the fans are hating your product, you're just doing it because it's what you want, then you're an idiot.
people
Yeah.
Austin.
You're an idiot if that's how you're running things.
Austin, it's what they want. They
want
him to
What
puke.
they want.
It's what the authority wants. What's
yeah,
best
yeah,
for this.
yeah, yeah, any idea?
And I mean, but it is what it is. It's their guy. They're gonna keep shoving him down our throats like how they did with Cena,
I mean,
like how I feel like they did with Ryback for a very short period of time.
I mean, same way the fans shoved Brian down WWE's throat, though. I mean, it's
No,
double-edged sword.
because the fans loved him. They didn't need to shove him down anyone's throat.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like done the right way, I guess.
Yeah, but here's the thing about it, though. Here's the thing about it. You have any idea how many fans said, "Oh, I'm done. I'm gonna be." I find it funny as hell every fucking time. You know, when Rumble won the Rumble, oh, I'm done with WWE. This is bullshit. Oh my god, I'm gonna cancel my network. I'm gonna cancel
But
my
they
main.
still watch it anyway.
Still watch anyway. They still fucking watch. The same people that are shitting on the product, no, it's bullshit, are the same fucks who are gonna tune in Monday night to watch Raw. Are the same people who do reviews. The same people. Stop doing that, Connor. That's not the point. Though. But the point of the matter, that's wrestling fans hypocrisy 101. It's always gonna.
Still,
No, the way I look at it, okay. Again, WWE stuck to their game plan. 2 years in a row, they gave fans what they wanted here. They gave people Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. He beat Evolution in one night. Mazel tov. 31 to save the show. They had Rollins run out there with a small little dick to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Perfectly done, if you ask me, but still. They did that.
I predicted
But they were not going to go 3 years in a row on the biggest WrestleMania of all time. Let's face it here. End of the day. Put it this way, and I said this to Connor numerous times. If they wanted to, they could stop doing WrestleMania. Period. They could stop doing WrestleMania. Cause how
That'd
are
be
you,
odd.
Yeah, they're gonna stop
That'd
that
be
shit.
weird. Yeah.
I'm just saying, think about it though. How are you going to top WrestleMania 32 from a spectacle perspective? You're not.
That show wasn't
Yeah.
that good. 31 and 30 were so much better. 32
Yeah,
had the
There was
worst
some
booking,
things that
the worst booking with the best match quality out of any show I've ever seen in my life. That was a 5-hour-long Monday Night Raw. That's what that was.
Presentation-wise, from a spectacle-wise.
Okay, but they had to do all of that. They had to bring back Shawn, Austin, Foley, Rock against Eric Rowan, and have this horrible main event. Or not horrible.
That's
This
a whole
not
different
so
thing.
good
Though.
main event.
I mean, I'll say this. WrestleMania 31 main event, Brock versus Roman was better than Roman versus Triple H. I'll say that.
And the 30 main
I
event
agree.
was awesome. I love the 30 triple threat.
Honestly, and this is okay. Between you and me, was 31 better than 32?
Yes.
In my opinion, yes. Was 30 better than 32?
Yes. Much better.
I don't think so.
I thought
It's not by much, and the only reason is because the idea of Daniel Bryan and the whole coming, battling back from that just seemed a little too much. If they just did Batista, Orton, and Daniel Bryan and did it that way, I'd kind of believe it a little bit more. You know what I mean? But it's like, what you're gonna have 2 matches at WrestleMania? It's like, come on.
The only reason why I would believe it is because, think about it, Bryan was out for a good amount of that triple threat after he got killed on the table spot. And so I can believe the comeback to a degree, but at the same time, I know what you mean, but still, what were they going to do? Not have Triple H wrestle when he was supposed to face Punk? They needed Triple H to do something.
No, I know. They were kind of scrambling at straws. But anyway, back to this whole original concept of the Bullet Club, which is where the hell we got going. But anyway, I think, and I'm saying this now, by the way, I need to state this for the record. I love this whole Gallows-Anderson angle, not because of their association with AJ. Not just because of that, too. And they have sick white coats, which I want to buy at WWE Shop the second they come out. The reason I'm loving this is because it's simple booking. It's not overly complicated. AJ's a good guy. Roman's he's not a good guy. He's the guy. They're fighting for the title. AJ has friends who keep interfering with him, but he's saying he doesn't have anything to do with them, but it's fishy. It's brilliant. It's the ending to Raw, I thought last night was superb. I wish Gallows and Anderson looked a little stronger at the end, but that's literally my only critique. But I love how the fact that they came out, Roman beat them up, and then turned around to do a phenomenal forearm, even though AJ was the one that pulled him off. I thought that was great, simple booking. Simple booking makes things so much better because, again, you're trying to attract a general audience here, not make things too overly complicated. And so at Payback, we still don't know what the hell's going on. And I'll be honest with you, the way they ended Raw makes me want to watch the main event of Payback to know what's going to go on. And that's the other beautiful thing. We don't know what's going to happen. Roman could keep the title. AJ could win the title. Balor might show up. AJ might turn heel. Roman might turn. We don't know. And so that's why I love this gimmick or this angle, is because it's very simple and they're not giving us a whole lot to work with. And that's what makes good wrestling writing, in my opinion. And then we got into the WrestleMania argument, but I can't really answer that truthfully too, because I'll be biased. So
it's alright, it happens. So Steven, we'll go ahead with your thoughts on the Bullet Club.
I mean, overall, I thought them coming out the way they did was great. Overall, the Usos, most likely there'll be a feud from what it looks like, and hopefully so. I think again it was great, seeing them. Especially where they were at before in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ichiban, with the Bullet Club, and now they're on WWE television. And great, awesome, Mazel Tov. But that's around the point.
All right.
You're saying Mazel Tov like you're Jewish.
Well,
you've literally said probably like 3 times.
There's a Jewish block like right across the street from my house, so yeah.
But you're not Jewish.
I know.
You out of all, no offense to anybody else here, but you out of all this entire lineup are the last person that anyone would expect to be Jewish. I'm just saying. Probably Austin.
Yeah, because my dad's Jewish, so I'm glad you got that right.
There you go.
Makes sense. Good call.
Listen, Jewish people are cool, okay? Because of them, I had a day off in high school in October. Okay? Because of them, I had a day off in high school.
Folks, that was Random Heel Steven point number 137. Keep your ears for more random useless shit from Heel Steven. Because of them, I had a random holiday off in October. What the hell?
Steven, are you ever gonna shock the world and become face, Steven?
I don't think that ever happened. I'll be very shocked if that does happen.
Me and my prime
People what they want.
My prime, go watch the 2012 Heel Steven. 2012. That's my prime. That's around the point.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and move into the main portion of the show, which is Payback predictions. And we're going to go ahead with that and get things out of the way with the kickoff match. And with this one, I never really got into the feud, to be all honest, especially with the United States Championship, and could be doing a hell of a lot more with Kalisto and Ryback. And with this one, definitely, I do feel Kalisto should keep the title more, and hopefully other things will come to follow after that, since I really like Kalisto, and him with the title should be doing a lot more better than expected. So Kalisto to retain, Austin, your thoughts on Kalisto and Ryback as a whole?
I fucking hate Ryback. He's a piece of shit who needs to get released. He needs to stop shoving his stupid ass down our throats because he's a horrible wrestler.
He
And
was your favorite, I thought. I thought you loved Ryback.
No, this is pointless. They're making Kalisto look like shit. We get it. He's beaten Ryback twice now, and them putting him on the pre-show consistently is not good, considering the belt was just on Cena and Del Rio.
No,
But I'm gonna go with Kalisto. Ryback sucks. Kalisto is highly underrated and deserves better.
I'll tell you what. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna build a giant wall, right? They're gonna build a giant wall, all right?
It's going to be better again.
Ryback gonna be on top of the wall with the U.S. title, and Khalid's gonna have to climb that giant wall, and then he'll fall halfway. Making
That
WWE.
sounds devastating. I wish Kalisto the very best of luck. Connor, your thoughts?
Why? What? No, I'm serious. Why? They've literally given this matchup on TV a whopping 0 weeks of build.
Oh shit, my ear. Now I know how you guys out. Now
Warning.
0 weeks of build. It was randomly announced that the pre-show match that was showed at WrestleMania, where half the arena was filled, by the way, loved it. That looked amazing on camera. They're gonna redo on Payback for I
remember that, Connor?
I don't know why. I don't know why this is happening. At least some of the okay, here's the thing with me. The pre-show matches are kind of flip-flop. Like, at least there are some that have some build and some meaning. If you threw together, like, I don't know, like, if you threw together a match and put, like, if you gave, like, Gallows and Anderson against the Usos in the pre-show match, I think people would be pissed off that they're not on the main card. But you know what? There's at least some logic behind that. There's at least some build behind that. What the hell was the build with this one?
At
Ryback's
least
still, Ryback's still hungry? He's always hungry. He's the Ryberg. It just I say Kalisto to hold the title because I don't want okay, if they're gonna push Ryback in any sense of the word, which I'm okay with. I know Austin's not the biggest fan, but if they're gonna do that, they're gonna give him the U.S. title. At least do it with some build, and I just don't. I'm pulling a William Shatner. I just don't know why now it's Christopher Walken, why they're putting this match on the pre-show.
Give it Dr. Phil.
It's just Kalisto should hold this belt. I can't. I need like a bottle of scotch like immediately after talking about that.
They need to give him like someone like Sheamus or Rusev, someone relevant.
I would take that at this point. I would even take that at this point.
Give us that with a Dr. Phil voice.
All right, Steven, your thoughts on the match, though?
I think like everyone around the board here. I mean, who's gonna watch? Who's gonna care? You know?
Not many people, though. All right, so from there we'll go ahead and move things on with the next match, and we'll actually go with the tag team title tournament, which has been really cool. I like where things are going, especially when we got the Vaude Villains and Enzo and Cass being able to go at it to see who will face the New Day, and it's going to be really interesting. It can really go either way. I kind of feel like the Vaude Villains are going to win. I really want to see Enzo and Cass get the tag team titles. That would be really dope and great to see. So we could possibly see either one of these teams being able to go up against New Day. That remains to be seen. But as much as I want to see Enzo and Cass win, I kind of have a feeling that Vaude Villains are going to win somehow, some way. So, Steven, your thoughts on that match?
I think the Vaude Villains will end up winning here. My honest opinion, I think that's the way to go. I think for all of us here, we want to see the Dudley Boys versus Cass and Enzo go at it in a little feature program. Because again, that's how you build, I guess, your tag division, right? You have tag teams feuding, some for the belt, some for not for the belt. At the same time, though, it'd be a shock if the New Day retains their tag titles after all this tournament is all said and done. But that's just me.
All right, Connor, your thoughts?
Pretty much to Steven's point, I think that they're going to continue Enzo and Cass the Dudleys because that one match was not enough. I think that they could really do a lengthy program with all four of them, and would not be surprised to see a tables match at Extreme Rules between these two teams. So the fact that the Dudleys lost, Enzo and Cass are still a sour taste in the mouth in the mouth of the Dudleys. Yeah, pretty much seeing Dudley's costing this and Vaudevillains getting the as I hit my computer, getting the win on this one for sure. I think the matchup is going to be entertaining as hell, one way or the other. But yeah, pretty much I'm calling it Vaudevillains via a interference from Bubba and Devon.
All right, Austin, your thoughts?
Connor read my mind. I think they still want Enzo and Cass to look great because where the New Day is at right now, being as hot, as ridiculously on fire as they are, Enzo and Cass are going to be next. They're going to be at that level the New Day's at. I really think they're that good. Honestly, this is a long shot. Enzo and Cass have the potential to be future Hall of Famers. I know they just got in the main roster, but look at how good and how entertaining they are. They're like, remember how everyone loved the New Age Outlaws in the Attitude Era? I think people now are going to love Enzo and Cass even more than they love them. I really think they're that entertaining. Although, with that being said, I do think they're going to continue the feud with the Dudleys. More entertaining promos so Bubba can fall back like his headline. How you doing? Because you're ugly as hell!
How you doing? But,
You know,
yeah.
Vaudevillains. At first, when I first heard the match, I was like, Enzo and Cass, but you kind of want a heel team to face a babyface team. So
Yeah, that's what
I think the fans would be too torn on Enzo and Cass against the New Day, so Vaudevillains.
Alright, so from there we move into the next match where we have Baron Corbin taking on Dolph Ziggler, and I feel this way, honestly, definitely for sure that Baron Corbin is most likely, definitely for sure going to win. And it's cool that he's on the main roster, but he was able to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Try saying that 10 times fast, but yeah, so Baron Corbin, I feel like he's going to be actually doing pretty damn well, and this is going to be the moment where he's going to be able to take the win here once again. So, Austin, your thoughts on the match?
I'm not a big Baron Corbin fan at all, actually. This sounds weird, I think he's a better fit for the main roster than he is NXT, because NXT is very wrestling-based, and Baron Corbin is not on the level as pretty much any other star in NXT, so I guess the main roster is more focused on, looks and potential, whatever the fuck Vince likes. But I think the match is going to be meh. But, it's funny because we had Tyler Breeze come in and beat Ziggler. Same exact thing with Baron Corbin. There's going to be a short program to give Corbin a big win, and just going to move on from there.
All right, Connor, your thoughts? I guess Baron Corbin put him to sleep.
Oh god, I had a horrible dream that we had another NXT guy fighting Dolph Ziggler. Oh my god. Oh man, wow, what a horrible dream. I don't care about this matchup because they really haven't given a whole lot of time and effort into building this, and it's funny because I like Corbin's character, but I don't like his in-ring ability. It's a very weird dynamic. But honestly, I see this going to some throw-out. DQ, count out, whatever it is, because I'm calling it now. Extreme Rules, falls count anywhere.
At least I think that match could be good, though.
Because they've attacked each other on their way to the ring, and the way they ended their first matchup where they were just brawling all over the place. So I'm calling it where they're going to have I'm going to say probably a double count out, and then they're going to do they're going to do a false count anywhere. But anyway, my thoughts on the in-depth of the match.
I got a better idea. Now let me tell you. Now let me tell you, bro. I gotta tell you, bro. Here's what I see happening. Okay. There's no match.
Really?
What you do is during the show, you go to a backstage segment where, hey, Dolph got attacked by Baron Corbin backstage. There's no match. There you go.
I don't think that'd
be a huge. That's a bit of a bigger dick move, but
you do what Kabuki and everyone did in '94 to Lex Luger in the '94 Rumble. That's what you do.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next match where we have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Now this one's gonna get really good. I'm really looking forward to this match. And of course, we've seen these two pretty much go at it before, but now we're going to see it on the main roster at Payback. So honestly, it could go really either or. I really want to see Sami Zayn get the win. That's just me, but it could either go to Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn. It wouldn't really bother me at the end of the day. So with that said, unfortunately, Steven has his back turned on that. So I guess I said the wrong thing on having Sami Zayn. So I guess we'll try and get your thoughts.
You really don't know who Steven loves more than anybody else besides himself?
He loves Kevin Owens more than his own mother.
So, and also, fun fact, Steven named his right hand Kevin Owens.
Wow.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Oh, you're back in the conversation instead of turning your back on, a gracious host like Dave Rivera right here on In the Hot Seat Live.
Get the thumb up. Thumb up. But I mean, overall, listen, I think it's gonna be a great match. I'm happy to see them both on the main roster finally. Started from the bottom, now they're there, right? What a shit song, but that's just around the point. Anywho, I think honestly, the way you should just build this is the match that'll continue on. I say you do it. I don't know. You do this like a random thing. Have Owens win, then you build this up to SummerSlam.
That'd be really awesome. All right, Connor, your thoughts?
So, I know I just said this about Corbin and Ziggler, but if they don't do that finish with Corbin Ziggler, this is the match I would prefer they have a shady finish to, because you know they're going to keep going. You know they're going to do this. So, honestly, what I would do is to really drive the importance of this, something we have not seen in WWE in... Actually, I can't think. I think it's been over a decade. I could be wrong about this factor, but a double KO or a double count out where they can't answer the count of 10 to get up, like in the middle of the ring.
Or you do this thing that they're by the entrance area, Sammy jumps or something. Boom, this off the match.
No. You want to make them look like equals. You want to make them look like they're very, because that's what the video package on Raw did. It made them look like that they were two friends who were just racing to whoever could get to the top. So in order to keep that feud going, which I think I can say for everybody here, they're pretty much going to continue this rivalry after Payback. I don't think this is a one and done deal. If they're going to do that, they need to establish the fact that they're on equal playing fields, and they haven't really done that lately on Raw. They've tried to do it with a video package, but there's only so much a video package can do. Put them in the ring, let them beat the ever-living hell out of each other, and either do a double KO, double count-out as far as like not answering the count of 10. That will solidify that, hey, we still don't know who's the best in this one. And that could obviously continue into Extreme Rules. Honestly, if they played their cards right and they were able to book this, the smart way, they could have this rivalry go on for quite a while and not get stale. If they play their cards right. But that was just, if they don't do the Corbin thing that I mentioned earlier with his matchup, this would be the matchup I would do that on, for sure.
All right, and Austin, your thoughts?
No, I think Corbin and Ziggler. I just think it's going to be Breeze and Ziggler again. Corbin's going to get the win, and I think what they could do here. Honestly, if I were to pick a winner, it's hard to say because I feel like if they have a gimmick match, that's the one Owens is going to win. If I'm picking between a clear winner in this one and a clear winner between Extreme Rules, but at the same time, it's really, really fucking hard to say. You know what? I'm just going to say it's a double count out. But if I have to pick one winner, fuck it, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens.
Smart man, good man.
All right. So we'll go ahead and move on. We have Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho going head-to-head. And with this one, I was kind of debating who else I wanted to see win, but I'm actually going to go with this one and say Chris Jericho actually gets the win, even though I want to see Dean Ambrose get his fair share of the win since we don't get to see that often. So that's going to be definitely a match to look out for, and I'm looking forward to one of the other matches I'm looking forward to. So, yeah, Austin, your thoughts on Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho?
Chris Jericho cannot win this match. He should not have won at WrestleMania. I'm not going to say he buried AJ, but Jericho does not need to win any more match. If Jericho lost every single match for the rest of his career, it'd be fine. So winning Dean, who needs a desperate win over that horrible disappointment of a match at WrestleMania that made him look like complete shit, Dean needs this win, and it's going to be a great match. This could be the best match on the card. But No, Dean Ambrose all the way. Jericho, there's no fucking way Jericho's winning this match. No way.
All right, Steven, your thoughts?
I'm gonna go with Dean Ambrose. I think he needs to win. Like everyone is saying it, but I think overall, this will not be a one and done match. This match will continue on, carry on. Maybe again to Extreme Rules, maybe Payback.
You
Let's see.
mean Payback, the pay-per-view that they're wrestling on?
My bad, yeah. Maybe Extreme Rules. We'll see.
All right, Connor, your thoughts?
Pretty much the same way across the board. I'll just make it a clean sweep. Dean lost to Brock at WrestleMania,
But David picked Jericho.
but Jericho won at WrestleMania as well. So Dean definitely needs this win more so than ever. And if you notice, it would probably make sense story-wise, and usually the heel never chases the babyface, but it would kind of be an irk in Jericho considering that, what happened with Dean taking over this. I'll be completely honest with you, the build for this matchup I hate, and I hate it because it just seemed kind of just, wait, we don't have Dean and Jericho, like they just kind of threw it up there onto Raw. But I think this matchup, like Austin was saying, this one might be the match of the night. These two will definitely tear it up in the ring, and to Steven's point, we could see this continuing on. So while I'm not a fan of the way they've built this matchup, I'm going to give my win to Dean on this one just because of the results for WrestleMania.
All right. So before we head on into the main event, I just wanted to go with this whole thing between the McMahons, between Stephanie and Shane, and now Mr. McMahon actually being able to have the decision be made on Payback this Sunday. So this whole thing has been crazy in itself, and Shane McMahon was able to be in charge of Raw anyway after WrestleMania. So even though, I like seeing him back, and that's really cool. So hopefully he will be able to be able to run Raw, and then we'll see what happens with that, and basically run both shows in a way. So we'll see where this goes, and it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out and everything. And Austin, your thoughts? I know you're big on Shane, so what do you think about that?
I've been a big Shane McMahon fan since I was like 4 years old. It's just so good to see him back, and for his on-screen persona, he's been doing amazing. He's really been helping Raw out. I know it's more on-screen stuff, but I love it. There's no way they're going to just drop it like this. What I actually can't see happening, Vince has been the biggest villain for months now. What I can't see just being a swerve, I can see him saying, I'm going to Stephanie, making everyone think Stephanie's going to run. He says, Stephanie, you're fired! And gives it to Shane. I don't know. I think that'd be hilarious. I don't know if he'll do that, but I think that'd be fucking hilarious. I think it makes somewhat sense just because Stephanie's been on TV for so long. Maybe what I could see her doing is firing her from Raw, and she can run SmackDown. Then do the brand split.
There you go.
But for Raw, keep it with Shane. You have to keep it with Shane. It makes zero sense to give it back to the Authority. Keep it with Shane. And if you want to give Stephanie and the Authority SmackDown, that's cool. Or just Stephanie. I'd prefer just Stephanie because she was great in 03. But if you want to, that's perfect. Fire her from Raw. Give her SmackDown. Shane is going nowhere.
All right, Steven, your thoughts?
You could give it a Shane, but I think what's going to happen too, calling it now SummerSlam, going to be Shane versus Triple H for control, full control. You could fire Stephanie now, fire the Authority, bring in Shane, have him run Raw, and then you build up to SummerSlam. Yeah.
Right. So then, Connor, your thoughts?
To Austin's, I'm pretty much agreeing with Austin almost 100% on this one because what I was trying to think about this to actually counter his point in terms of what it could possibly be. Literally, there would be zero reason whatsoever to have Stephanie go back to power. Vince says no. That's when Steph says, fine, I'll get my husband and his shovel, and we'll bury every single one of you guys. To set up another matchup, which I'm actually going to be talking about in a future video on my channel down the road, that's a necessity. That's a necessity to shake up the Authority angle because, okay, Stephanie comes back, just... so they have to go with Shane to establish future storylines is the bottom line. So.
Yeah, and I'm trying to try and get Matt, and I know he wanted to get it before the show ends.
Oh,
So
I sent him. Did you send him link already?
yeah, I sent him the link, so he's gonna try and do this before I guess he leaves out of work and everything. So but yeah, before we get into the main event, we'll try to get Matt in and just current thoughts overall, what's been going on leading into Payback and everything, and other thoughts in general, what you guys may have, and we'll go at it with that before we get into the main event, before we get Matt in. So, Austin, your thoughts overall, what's been going on going into Payback, and what to expect maybe afterwards. So, your thoughts.
I think what they're doing is honestly smart with, well, not everything they're doing with the Roman's smart, but I think
Mm-hmm.
having him face probably the most beloved baby face on the main roster. By the way, we missed a match.
We did, didn't we?
Cesaro and Miz.
Yeah, so we'll get into that too.
Are we gonna go to that, or are we gonna do the main event?
Well, we'll wait until Matt tries to come in, and we'll just
We,
keep
we
that right
missed
now.
we missed one other match too.
What was the other one?
The women's match.
Oh yeah, the
Yep.
Divas match. The women's
No,
match,
women's.
Yeah, I
will
can't
punch
say that
you.
anymore.
I will punch you if you say
Yeah, I
divas.
got so used to saying that now.
Mm,
That's them. I blame them.
boo.
Don't give me that look.
All right, so if we're sticking on the main event, I think having him face AJ is the perfect way to eventually turn Roman heel, especially saying that he's the guy when everyone knows he is not the guy. So making him come across as arrogant is great.
Oh, he's the guy with the belt. He's the guy wearing the belt.
Yeah, Great Khali was wearing that belt at one point. What's your point?
Hey, he's more hip.
No, Roman's not the guy. Anyway, definitely not the guy. But I think having them say that, I think it's building up something. And he has to turn heel. This babyface run of Roman as champion is hopeless. Hopeless. I tried to give it so many tries. I gave it so much life, and it's dead. It will never work ever. So what they have to do is eventually turn him heel, and I think that's what they're going to do. And this match, and AJ looks good against anybody. AJ's like Cesaro. He can make anybody look great. Not saying Roman's the worst wrestler in the world. He's a decent worker. But this match is not going to be the best of the night by any means unless they pull off something crazy. But I am looking forward to it. Not looking forward to the IWC complaining that AJ didn't win the belt. But Roman will win. I mark out if AJ won, but it's not going to happen. But it makes me very satisfied to see him in the main event of a big pay-per-view this early of his WWE career. So good for AJ for doing that. You can't really do more.
Just say Dixie. Damn, Dixie.
But yeah, Roman Reigns.
All right, Connor, you have anything to add to that?
The Matt was coming in.
So,
Yeah, I hope so.
I mean, just in thoughts of the general main event at all.
Well, we'll get into that in a little bit, but just like everything else that's been going on into Payback, pretty much. All right.
I mean,
Connor, you have any?
in general, the build for Payback, I think, has all been built off the back of course, the Bullet Club or Gallows and Anderson and AJ, which is fine. Pay-per-views have been built over one match before in the past. There's this big recurring theory that I keep saying is that lackluster built pay-per-views end up being the best ones of them all as far as the match quality. And to be honest with you, as far as just looking objectively on everything on piece of paper, minus the main event,
That's true.
really hasn't been too many built. I'm not saying the matches aren't intriguing. Dean and Jericho, as I was mentioning earlier, could be the best match of the night. The tag team match I think is going to be fantastic. The women's match I think is going to be knocked out of the park. I don't think it'll be a good roadblock, but I think it'll be still really, really good. So I think that their potential for the matches are a nice, refreshing change, and there's a lot of possibility, and there's a lot of things that can go right with this. I mean, but at the same time, there's a lot that can go wrong. But point being is that from what I've experienced recently, the lackluster built pay-per-views, events, network specials, whatever the hell you want to call them at this point, the ones that haven't been built that well always seem to knock it out of the park. And so I'm hoping, considering that WrestleMania was very disappointing for a lot of people as far as the results and the matches themselves or whatever have you, for WrestleMania anyway, this will kind of be an offset for that. So here's hoping.
Guys,
Yeah.
give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah.
Of course, it goes right
Yeah.
to you, and
I know. But yeah, I mean, I'm very hopeful on Payback. I think it'll be at least a good show, so we'll see what happens with that. And I know I didn't get into the other two matches, so we'll get right into that with the IC Championship match between Cesaro, the returning Cesaro against The Miz. And I feel like, to me, I think Cesaro will get the championship. I would like to see it, but if The Miz ends up retaining, it is what it is. But I will say this, I do like him with Maurice. I think that's really cool. Something I feel like he actually really needed, and actually adds a little bit more to that. So that's cool in itself. But as far as I want to see the win, I'm going with Cesaro on this one. Austin, your thoughts on Cesaro
I
returning?
don't get if someone can pick The Miz to win this match. He took the belt from Ryder just because Ryder had that. Me and Connor spoke about this when I actually met Connor. Ryder had his WrestleMania moment. That was it. Miz took it from him. Maurice is back. Cesaro came back, and Cesaro is going to be one of the most legit guys in the company because he is. And he's probably the best wrestler the company has, along with AJ Owens, Nakamura, and Sami Zayn, and Finn Balor. But Cesaro needs this belt. He needs it. Miz has had this belt too many damn times. We're just going from one transitional champion to another, now to a legit one. So Cesaro is going to win this match, and I think he's going to hold it for a while until he wins the big belt. Miz is not holding this belt for long. It's just, and it takes away from the prestige of the belt. And they were talking about on the segment, they were saying, oh, all the greats have held this belt. You know, Miz, obviously, in character, he thinks he's one of the greats, but he can't stand up to, Shawn and Macho Man and Steamboat. Cesaro can. Cesaro represents that belt better than probably anyone on the damn roster. So having him win the belt is perfect. He came back at the right time to win the right belt, and Miz is just going to flip-flop it back to him. Those are my thoughts.
nope.
All right, go ahead.
No. I mean,
Go ahead.
I just mean this, and I mean this in a nice way. Do I want to see Cesaro? Do I want to see Cesaro as Intercontinental Champion? Absolutely. I think not only does he look good with the belt, but he would really create some intriguing matches. Here's the thing, though. There has to be a reason they took the belt off of Zack Ryder and onto The Miz. The Miz is a great heat seeker. No matter what you want to say about him, he is great at getting heat.
Yeah.
And so, honestly, with the Cesaro Miz build, again, not a whole lot of build in this one either. It's just randomly Cesaro becomes number one contender, and Cesaro becomes number one contender, and Miz is the Intercontinental Champion. And honestly, I love Miz as the heel. And considering that we just had this transition happen, only 3 weeks ago, I think it would be smart of them, because what's more intriguing? It's always more interesting and easier to book a babyface chasing a heel for the title. It's always easier, and it always creates more intriguing matches. So what I think is going to happen is Miz is going to retain. I think Miz is going to retain because his lovely wife, Maurice, is going to interfere or distract Cesaro, because if you've noticed, they really haven't considered her a major factor in this title match. It's been focused on Miz and Cesaro only, and it should be. So I think having Maurice kind of do some sort of switcheroo and some shady business, to say the least, will help like kind of give a surprise factor when she does help Miz retain. Because what's going to happen is that's going to happen, and then Cesaro is going to chase after Miz, or he's going to get a uppercut after the matchup where Miz still retains, or a disqualification finish, something along those lines. But I think Maurice interfering and Miz getting the win would be more heat, even more. Uppercut, swing, whatever have you. I'd love to see him swing Maurice and Miz at the same time. That's just me, though. But I think honestly, Miz is going to retain the championship, because if you look at all the predictions we've made so far, with the exception of the Vaudevillains winning, most of the predictions we made have been, I think, for baby faces or some BS.
What do you see Cesaro winning at Extreme Rules, though?
It depends on the type of match. If I were them, I would do a steel cage.
Oh.
Because there's so much you could do with the steel cage. And Maurice would be outside the ring, so it would be kind of interference. But it depends. I mean, like I said, it's not that I'm against Cesaro. I'm not against Cesaro winning the championship. I just don't think he's going to win it this quickly. It would be cool. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to be wrong, but I just don't think they're going to pull the trigger that fast.
Yeah, and another thing,
Alright, so
I think before you go on, David, I don't mean to cut you off, but
yeah,
I just
sorry.
don't, because anyone knows from little kids to smarks know that Cesaro buries Miz every single day of the week and twice on Sunday. So having him win is just, I mean, don't get me wrong, Miz is an amazing talker. I dig the fuck out of him when he talks, and I think he's funny from time to time. And I just, how can you make it believable by any circumstance, even with Maurice helping him, which is a possibility. I do see that happening. I just don't see Miz making a believable win, shady or not, over Cesaro. I just don't.
Well,
I can't.
that's the idea. That's the whole story, is that it's not going to be a believable win because he's going to get interference from Maurice. That's the whole point. WWE has this really good idea, and even Vince has said this too. They're like, the way we tell a story is that we build up something that you want to see, whether it be a moment, a match, or something to happen. We build it up, and if we're gonna pull the trigger on it and we've waited out, we kind of tease it to you. And then once we're teasing it and we're ready to pull the trigger, we tease you a little bit more. And then once you're like, you're dying to see this moment happen, that's when they'll pull the trigger. And that's exactly what I think they're going to do here. If they decide to give Cesaro the Intercontinental Championship,
Which they will.
They won't do it at Payback. They'll do it either at Extreme Rules, or if they're able to really pull it off, it would be kind of cool to see it at Money in the Bank. But that's.
I feel like Cesaro's going to either be. I don't know. I think Extreme Rules at the latest. But Money in the Bank.
Either way, the Miz isn't gonna last that long. Go ahead.
By the way, fuck, Steven, we missed you in the main event, so you can do both IC and WWE title.
I mean,
Well, we didn't get the WWE title yet, but the IC title match.
I think the IC title, I think Miz is gonna retain. In some weird way, I think he's gonna retain. You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind, really. I really don't mind it. I think Miz has really done a 180 right now with Maurice, and so yeah.
All right, so from there we're going to the women's championship match. I noticed I didn't say Divas this time, but we're going to with Charlotte, and of course with Natalia. Of course, we've seen this before with Roadblock and everything in NXT. So now this time is a bit more different in a way. Now that we have, of course, Ric Flair with Charlotte, but we have Bret Hart supporting Natalia. So with this one, even as much as I do like Charlotte, I do want to see actually Natalia actually get the win here. That'd be pretty cool to see. So we'll see where that goes. And I like this whole new rebranding. It's about time that we got the new Women's Championship look and everything, and got rid of the Divas title and everything. So that's been really awesome, and things are looking to shape up a lot more better now for the women's division. It's great to actually say that again. So, Connor, your thoughts on the Women's Championship match?
Shocking. To be completely honest with you, I'm very surprised as far as them deciding to go this route. I'm not against Natalia. It's just that considering we just came off of Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte, this one's honestly a tough call. They could go, I think honestly they could go either way because of multiple factors. Number one, you got Bret at ringside, who has showed his enthusiasm of how he wants to be a Payback really badly lately in interviews, which I thought was hilarious. He's like, I have no desire to be a Payback, but I'm going to be there for Natalia. It's like, cool. So there's that factor. There's also the factor of, just the surprise of, maybe, why wouldn't Charlotte lose the championship? Because you have to understand that at some point Charlotte's going to have to lose the women's championship one way or the other. And honestly, I would much rather prefer I don't want to say a secondary pay-per-view like this, but you guys I think get my point, not like one of the major four.
This is like a B+. It's like a B+.
Solid B+.
I would not honestly mind it just to shake things up. I think Natalia as a women's champion, as far as the new design and kind of when the revamping would be great. I wouldn't mind Natalia winning the title and then losing it back to Charlotte maybe at Extreme Rules or something else. I'd be all for that, just to kind of shake it up a little bit, because we all kind of predict the fact that whether or not the championship is going to change hands, and usually when it comes to fantasy booking, I think we all kind of hope, and it's just kind of like it's a psychological thing to make it all wrap up at one of the major four pay-per-views like SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Rumble, or Mania, because psychologically it makes sense. It's like, oh, it's one of the big four. It happened here, but having it happen at Payback, especially with Brett in the corner too, I wouldn't be for it. So I'm going to make a bold prediction, and I'm actually going to say that I think Natalia is actually going to win it. And that's really tough for me to say, but I'm sticking my guns. I think Natalia's going to I think Natalia's going to win the women's title at Payback.
All right, Steven, your thoughts?
I'll be honest, it's kind of funny how June the Anvil Neidhart is the unloved member of the family. Right? Think about it.
Unfortunately.
They're bringing out Brett, but not Jim the Anvil Neidhart, who is her father, after all, right? Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm really not looking forward to this because we've seen this so many times already. They're not
Yeah.
going to duplicate what they did at TakeOver a couple years ago. Um, so yeah, and especially before where Charlotte had beaten Natalia, not even a long, but in short matches and shit like that. And at the same time, though, I'm open to them having Charlotte drop the belt, not for a long time though. You give the belt to Natalia to like the next pay-per-view, right? At Extreme Rules, or we'll come after Extreme Rules, Money in the Bank, right? Something like that. You build that up to, then hey, put the belt back on Charlotte, and you work your way to SummerSlam with Sasha Banks and Charlotte. And I got this box finally. Connor came in.
Nice, another unboxing coming soon, I see.
Oh, not really. Not really. But,
Alright. I was going to try and get Austin's thoughts, but I know he's on mute right now. So I'll probably be on hold with that, and I guess we'll move on to for the main event and then go back to Austin. So, yeah, for the main event, WWE title matchup, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see with all the other outcomes that could come out of this between Roman Reigns and AJ Styles. But I do see Roman actually retaining the title, and then
of course you do, brother. Of course you do.
I do.
Smart man. Well, good for you.
Yeah, that's with all honesty here. So,
Alright, I am back.
alright, so, overall, before I go into that, your thoughts overall on the Women's Championship match before the main event.
Honestly, I'm gonna see Natalia win. I see Natalia winning. I'll keep it short and sweet. Charlotte has to win this, has to lose this belt at some point, and every time she's retained the belt's been because of her.
You just got jacked from your food.
It's been because of Rick, and now this is the equalizer, Bret Hart. So Natalia's gonna win the belt. The question is, who does she drop it?
Question. But yeah, of course, honestly, I do see Roman winning the main event. So we'll go ahead with everyone else's thoughts on that. Steven, your thoughts on the overall outcome of the match, and what do you expect to see out of it?
I'll be honest. We all know Roman's gonna win. We all know that already. Do that proud, Connor. Do it proud. But at the same time, though, I'll be honest, though. Am I open to seeing AJ Styles win the belt? Of course I am. Who wouldn't be, right? So I can keep on saying, "Damn, Dixie," over and over and over again, right?
Until someone actually cares.
That too. But at the end of the day, though, it's one of those things where if he doesn't win, people will bitch. If he does win, he won in a weak way. He rolled over Roman. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. Or either way, people are gonna bitch about it.
All right, Austin, your thoughts?
What are you
I
eating?
gave my thoughts.
Austin, what are you eating?
So your nuggets.
Chicken breast and corn.
Ah,
Oh,
meal of the day.
What the hell are you doing?
She's stealing your food.
Might have actually slide in real quick just because I do have to hop off camera for a moment real quick.
Yeah,
I think this is a perfect booking situation where everyone can have their cake and eat it too. Roman will keep the belt, but we'll have AJ or the Bullet Club, Balor Club, whatever it is, beat on him. So it's like, well, Roman retained, but I guess at least we get to see this. So that's kind of what I think is going to happen, like I was mentioning before about the easy booking. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that one. So on that note, I'll be right back.
All right, so from there we'll go with Austin. Your thoughts on the main event?
I already gave my thoughts.
Oh, you did. All right. So I wasn't too sure about that. All right, so try and get Connor back before we end things off. So with Payback, like I said, should be a good show, and I'll just leave it up here to you on any other thoughts that you might want to touch bases on before Payback actually does happen and everything. And just anything overall, Austin, your thoughts on anything you want to talk about.
Go to Steve.
Yeah. I see your thoughts. If you have
Say it
anything else. Anything else you want to just talk about, like what's been going on lately before we get Connor back?
I mean, other than that, I mean, Payback, and I said this I think yesterday on Connor's post Raw rundown. We do every Monday after Raw. I'm looking forward to just two things. Obviously, it's Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, and obviously, what's going to happen with the main event, AJ Styles and Roman Reigns. Will everyone's favorite Finn Balor will he make his debut? What will happen? We'll see.
Alright, so I mean, yeah, for me, I'll be looking forward to Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That's going to be awesome in itself. So so far I've been enjoying the pay-per-view Payback. I think it's a lot better than Extreme News now, if you ask me on that. So yeah, it should be interesting, good surprises, but we'll see what happens. And Austin, any final closing moments?
Not really. I'm looking forward to the show. Wouldn't be surprised if it was better than Mania. You know, it'll be good. The match quality should be fine. The tag match, women's title, WWE title, Zayn, Owens, and Dean and Jericho. Those are all gonna be pretty much already confirmed to be good matches. Can't go wrong with any of those five. So, but you know, I think it's gonna be good. I'll be looking forward to it.
All right. Colin, do you have any final closing moments before we end the show here?
I think it's going to be a much better show than initially built. I think it's going to be better than Mania in some aspects. There's a lot of, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of potential for this show to be really good, and I just hope WWE takes advantage of the momentum that they have going.
Talk to him about some guys. I got
to have it here first.
I love how Amazon does these random airballs.
Oh, your penis pump finally came in. Good.
That's how we're going to close the show with an unboxing.
A blue snowball.
That's what it is. Close this fucking show. What a way. Close this fucking show.
That's a cheap pop right there to go get one.
Dave, kill this thing before Steven does.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and end things off. I appreciate you guys coming on in. I wanted to try and get Matt in, hopefully for the next show. I know Nigel has some problems too, so I appreciate him coming in before the show and everything. So it's been really fun. I appreciate you guys, and until then, enjoy Payback on Sunday. See you guys. Peace.